Hello everyone, this is Chocowat here, and welcome to my 55th dream vlog. I hope you all had a happy Easter or a happy Passover, depending on whichever you celebrate, or just a happy Sunday. Happiness is always good. So, I just want to get right to it then. My dream took place in this post-apocalyptic wasteland, which makes sense because I've been playing a lot of Fallout and making a lot of Fallout videos recently. So I was riding an elevator down a concrete building, and when the doors opened, I found myself with this group of survivors in this long, kind of rectangular room. It was light where I was, but it got progressively darker. And before I was able to get myself acquainted with all the survivors, because I was looking for someone in particular, we got attacked, because apparently someone followed me down the elevator. And I tried to help them, because like in Fallout 4, I had my favorite gun, which is the cranky gun. I know that that's like not a very good gun, but I really like the laser musket. I don't know why. Even when I was explaining it to my mom, who doesn't play Fallout, she's like, why do you use a gun you have to crank? I'm like, because it's fun. So I was using my little cranky gun, but for some reason I couldn't hit anyone, because my aim was awful. I was able to get some of the survivors behind me, and we all ran up the stairs of the building. And we were able to get to the rooftops and barricade so no one else could, get in our way, and we all dove into the ocean. It was very cloudy out, very gray. The ocean was very tumultuous. And so eventually I found myself in this seaside town. And I was looking for work. I was new there. I love seaside. I love the aesthetic of the seaside with like sea shanties and lighthouses and the sea. And Moby Dick is one of my favorite books. I love all of that, even though I'm so scared of the ocean. So I went into this bar, and I actually, you have to walk downstairs to get to the actual bar. And for some reason, actor, comedian, singer Danny Kaye was there with very blonde hair. I love Danny Kaye. In fact, on one of the questionnaires for the school I'm going to, they were like, whose careers do you want to emulate? And I was like, Jeffrey Combs and Danny Kaye. Jeffrey Combs for obvious reasons. He's awesome and I love him. And Danny Kaye because Danny Kaye was pretty successful in his own little way. He's not like super remembered like Humphrey Bogart, but I feel like he's remembered by the right people. And I love The Court Jester, I love White Christmas, I love The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, his version. And he was just like really whimsy and fun, and yeah, I just really like him. And so like if my career ended up like Danny Kaye's, that would be aiming pretty high and I would be pretty happy. But anyway, Danny Kaye was there, and also we had just watched Here Comes Peter Cottontail yesterday, and he was in that. He was the narrator, so that's probably why he was in my dream. He had curly, blonde hair, and I went up to talk to him, and he was really drunk and mad, and I chose all of the wrong things to say, and he challenged me to fisticuffs, and I was like, wait, I don't want to fight you, and he was like, okay, fine, and ran upstairs. And I was like, oh, okay, made a bad impression on Danny Kaye. So I went to the corner of the bar and spoke to this guy. And he wanted me to do a job for him, so we started talking about Sweden and how many people tried to escape Sweden by large boats from like the nuclear attacks and apocalypse and all of that. And while we were talking about this, I kind of saw it all like a movie. Like I saw the large boats sinking vertically into the water and people trying to escape them. And it was kind of scary. It was pretty frightening, And so then he asked me that he wanted me to retrieve something from one of the sunken ships. And when he said that, I saw one of the ships at the bottom of the ocean, like laying on the ocean floor. And I saw a giant squid moving across it. So it's like two of the most things I'm most afraid of. Sunken ships and giant squids. Like, I hate looking at pictures of like the Titanic when it's sunk. It's too big and it's too scary. I just don't like it. So I said that it sounded like a death mission, like I would not come back from it, but I would try to get what he wanted. And suddenly I found myself out in the ocean. I was swimming. There were enormous waves, but they were frozen in place. Like the water, it was almost like it was like jello molded, like you could still swim through it, but it was all still. And I went up to this raft that was like on top of a wave, so it was right next to the top of a lighthouse. It's kind of hard to describe, so like I said, it was all frozen, so this raft was on top of a wave, so that it was level with the top of a lighthouse. I kind of repeated myself, but I just want you to see what I was seeing. And I had to guide these people down to the ship. So I took them to this small, like, hole, like, in the sand, and we went through it, and we were transported down to the bottom of the ocean where all the ships were. And for some reason it was still light, like we had these green lights kind of twinkling from the surface. And we moved across the top of the ship and then up to the crow's nest, not bird's nest, crow's nest. And the crow's nest transported us back up to the surface. And then that's pretty much where I woke up. So nothing much happened, but I thought it would be fun to share, you know, a little seafaring adventure to start off April. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have all enjoyed my video, and remember to like and subscribe. Bye!
And a 1 and a 2. My dreams are so awesome. My dreams are so rad.
So as many of you know, I am a citizen of the USA, and currently our country is suffering from a crisis at the border. Immigrants seeking asylum in the U.S. are being detained. Families are being separated and kept in detention centers in horrible conditions. All of it is scary and horrible, and a bit hard to come to terms with. So until things start getting better, I'm placing this message at the end of all of my videos to try to use what little influence I have to bring awareness and help. There are a number of things you can do to help. One of the simplest things is to donate to Immigrant Families Together, who are fundraising money to pay the bonds of detained immigrants and also provide necessities to families such as hygiene products, food, and shelter. This organization is also looking for volunteers. You can also take direct action by calling your state's government's officials and try to make your voice heard, and also refuse to let your taxes go to fund these facilities. There are many groups online that are looking for help to make sure these people are treated like human beings and receiving the help they desperately need. Let's prove that there is still hope for humanity and help solve this crisis in the most humane way possible. Remember, showing kindness isn't political. It's just the right thing to do. Thank you.